Right, so apparently I thought summer was on the way, but now it's a cold, wet day, and it's 8 degrees Celsius, so apparently winter's not done yet. Now, I found this on my repair pile. I know a few people with some machine shops around here, and also some people with some lab equipment. So when I get an esky like this, I start to get dubious, and when I see some laser dye or some laser protection goggles. So this is a laser module that's come off one of the laser engravers that are used in one of the smaller workshops around here, and apparently I'm told there's something wrong with it, so we're going to have a bit of a look. But this is got a couple of fans here. This is a fairly powerful laser, and it's got a big heatsink block on here and a nice machined flat surface, a little laser controller on it, and a 12 volt input. I think this is the trigger wire, T1 it says, plus minus. I'm not sure it's meant to go into that, or if it's meant to go into this. I can't imagine needing to bridge over to that. That would seem a bit silly. But anyway, we'll work that out. Let's test our power supply first, see if it's doing its thing. Okay, we've got our desk meter here. We're going to put it on a 20 volt range. Let's turn on the backlight so we can see what's going on. Power supply is connected to mains. Let's see if we have 12 volts coming out. We indeed have 12 volts. Okay, so let's try the next thing. We need to come up with some sort of improvised beam dump first. Now, the astute among you might have noticed a couple of suspicious black marks here. Years ago, when this was first being assembled, this same bloke dropped this laser on and said, "Can you set this up for me so we can get the machine working?" And yeah, that was where I forgot to put a beam dump. So I've got it positioned here with a couple bits of blue tack to stop it moving away. We just want to stop unintended reflections. So we'll have a fairly good idea that it's working if it is, even with this sitting on top. Right, and of course we're going to swap glasses for these ones. Okay, let's see if we get power. Okay, so I can hear power supply struggling. The fan on this is working, but we're not getting any laser output. So we're going to have a look at our power supply here. I'm pretty sure I just did determine that this was center positive. What we're going to try and do is run it off for the house battery in a minute, as soon as I can find what I did with the multimeter. Multimeter is here. Let's confirm the polarity is as expected. So negative to the outer shield, positive to the center. It's sitting at about 11.6 volts after that little jaunt. Let's just flip our probes to be sure. Yep, it does show a negative. Okay, so center positive, which is good. Let's check our house battery at the moment, which it's an overcast day, so it shouldn't be pushing too high. And we are center positive on that. Let's turn that on. Oh, my blinds are still enabled. There we go. So we have 13.7 on that. Okay, and we will crucially be able to see how much current we're pulling from the counter. So let's turn this off. Let's go over here. We can see what's going on with that. Choose our green glasses, and I'm going to turn that off for a minute. Plug in. Let's see if we go anything. Okay, I'm not seeing beam out. Oh, something changed and it slowed down suddenly. Okay, anything warm here? Okay, nothing appears to be warm there. Alright, something's not right with this laser for sure. Picked up the wood and I smelt a piece of hot pine smell for a minute there. We might have had a beam actually. Let's just come out of the existing hole. So that lines up with about there. We might have actually had a small beam on there. So if that is the case, let's stick that over there. We should get a mark if we see it. I don't want to put the camera near this because it can destroy it very quickly. Alright, let's see how we go now. We'll try up here. Let's turn on for a minute. Not pulling much current. Well, it turned on. Okay, so it does work, it just has a warm-up timer. So, ooh, something did get hot in here. Let's try it again. Give it a warm-up time. We're pulling about 3 amps. We're doing alright. That is quite bright. I'm not looking directly at it even with these. Okay, so it does work. It has a startup delay. Okay, let's reconfigure things. Okay, now we've got the laser goggles on again, and we're going to test the power supply that came with it. See what happens. Let's run it for a second. And that's not the right power supply. Alright, so it looks like factory power supply. The plug's a bit loose. Let's see how we go. Will it fire up? Well, there's a delay. The socket's just loose. So that is indeed working under there. Okay. Alright, so it's just a loose socket, I think. Alright, that's not the end of the world. I can fix that. Okay, we can take a beam dump apart and we know things work. It's definitely made quite the impact on the blue tack. I found out some years ago blue tack will put up to the temperatures of molten metal, silver and brass even. So I've been using that in those places for quite a while. But yeah, another couple of dots on the on the wall there, or on the timber. But in any case, yeah, this can go back into service, get bolted back on the machine and get back to engraving. We are going to just unplug this, go to the local Jcar shop and make another connector. I think this is a 5.5 2.1 millimeter one, and this off-eye looks like a 5.5 2.5 mil. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Now, I do anticipate some questions about how powerful this laser actually is. I don't know. I can assume it's a little bit more than a laser pointer. Now, under Australian laws, you can't have handheld laser pointers over a certain power, but this is clearly not handheld. So yeah, but this does go into a laser engraver machine. So I don't know. It could be 20 watts. It could be 40 watts. I really don't know. But it does do a decent job from what I've seen. They've given me some of the products that work. I can't find anything on hand at the moment. I have my own infrared laser cutter, so I generally don't need their services. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. And this was a simple solution of just needing a different socket.